Smart, another lion to pick up the chase. This is the first one. This is the Babylonian Empire. This is Nebuchadnezzar. This is the same, correspond to the head of gold, number one, because he's talking about the same thing. It all ends with the Lord smashing the kingdom. So we know it's the same thing as in Daniel 2. And that takes place in the war at Armageddon. Told you wars, they named for places they fought at. They got a war here. They talking about the war at Gettysburg. The war at, what's his name, little short guy, Napoleon, fought a war. They talk about the war at Waterloo. Their wars are known for places where they've been fought at. But go ahead.
Verse 5. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh.
See, as tough as a lion is, the lion got to be careful messing with a bear, because bear's tough too. We got the toughest beast in God's creation. The lion with eagle's wing, then you got a bear, tough bear. This is the second one, the Medes and the Persians. No coincidence, Russia's symbol, because they are the Medes, is still the bear to this day. Go ahead, verse 6.
After this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
Now, not only is a leopard fast and tough as well, but you done gave this leopard 4 wings. He said, after this I beheld another, a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. He got 4 wings. Not only that, what else he got?
The beast had also 4 heads.
And he got 4 heads. This is a dangerous leopard. These some dangerous beasts, but they kingdoms. This is representative of the Greek Empire. Go ahead.
And dominion was given to it.
And now they ran it. But they ruled in succession, one after another. In other words, Babylon kicked it off. That's why it's still called Babylon to this day. After Babylon, though, Nebuchadnezzar died, Belshazzar, his son, died, a grandson. Once the Lord took them out, the Medes and the Persians ruled. They ruled so long, then the leopard took over, which is the Greek Empire. Then everybody know the Greek Empire ruled pretty good for a while. Alexander the Great died, but then he had generals. They ruled, and then one last empire took over. That's all the Lord concerned with. In all the kingdoms that's been on this earth, the Lord's unconcerned with these 4 Gentile nations, because it all revolves around them. That was the last one, was the Roman Empire. Let's read about it, verse 7.
After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
See, this beast something else. Just like the legs of iron and toes of iron and clay, this beast, he said, is dreadful and terrible, strong exceedingly, and had iron teeth. It corresponds to the legs of iron. Go ahead.
And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
And it had 10 horns. It was diverse from all the beasts before. Well, you know this got to be a diverse beast, brothers and sisters, because we don't even have no beast that we could point to say, oh, yeah, that's that beast. We had a lion with eagle's wings. That's a dangerous beast. We had a bear. We had a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads. And then what is this animal? This animal is so tough, the Lord didn't even, he picked the best animals. The Lord said, I ain't even got nothing to call, I ain't even got no animal to compare to this. This beast is something else. You know why this beast is the most dreadful of all the beasts? Because it it killed you physically, and then when they couldn't do that no more, when they lost military or the emperors got knocked down, they figured out a way to control your mind. That's why everybody in the planet Earth, for the most part, believe lies about God. Because they infected your mind. I was running the streets of Chicago, was never going to church, but I thought if I die, I'm going to heaven. I wasn't thinking about no kingdom coming. Had never heard of that. So that lets you know how they brainwashed everybody. That's why this beast is something else. And what animal is it? What did he say? He said, after this I saw a night vision, and behold, a 4th beast. So it is a beast. But what is it? He said, dreadful and that's the name of this beast. That's it. That's it. That's the post. Dreadful and terrible. That's something else, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Dreadful and terrible. That means this beast is something else. But it's an animal. It's just an animal we going to call, Lord said, we just going to call this one dreadful and terrible. And even the Lord is called the dreadful and terrible God. So they really are the most competing with God, more than anybody. They competing with God, coming straight at God, and been a force to be reckoned with. But this the fourth one. You know it's something. So you can't miss this one. It got to be 4. Now we're going to move along. We're going to come back here. You finished 7?
Yes, sir.
Go to Daniel 5. We're going to look at right quick a little transition just to back up what we already saw. They transitioned one to another, from Babylon, the Medes and Persians, the Greek, then Rome. And usually I have a little history with this, but I said we could do it without history. History just back up, show you in agreement what the scripture's saying. But the scriptures say enough. Daniel 5 and verse 1. Go ahead.
Belshazzar the king made a great feast to 1,000 of his lords and drank wine before the 1,000.
So Belshazzar was Nebuchadnezzar's son or grandson. It's a little discrepancy about it. Either way, he ruled later on after Nebuchadnezzar. He ruled after him. And Daniel was still living, because Daniel is the one that interpreted the dream for Nebuchadnezzar. He's still living. And at this time, Nebuchadnezzar obviously dead. And this boy, he going to have a feast with all of his people, and he made the mistake of drinking out of God's cups in Jerusalem. Verse 5, he got probably feeling too good, got too happy, and he told somebody, bring them cups my daddy brought out of Jerusalem. And they drank wine in there, and they, praising God, praising all the false God, praising all of God. But they drinking in the Lord's cups, and the Lord said, that's it. Because the Lord often would show these people he's still running. So what happened while they was partying? Verse 5, go ahead.
In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace. And the king saw the part of the hand that wrote.
The Lord let him see a hand come out of nowhere and start scribbling on the wall. Probably heard it, making all kind of noise, everybody looking. He saw nothing but a hand. Go ahead, verse 6.
Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that his joints of his loins were loose, and his knees smote one against another.
You really scared if your knees smoting together. They banging together. And then it said the joints of his loins were loose. Goodness. He was scared to death. And his knees smote one against another. He was scared, needless to say. So he did like Nebuchadnezzar when Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. Help, somebody come tell me what this is about. Tell me. Because there's some writing on this wall. Same scenario. He went to his smart people. They can't tell him. Then the queen came in who knew what Daniel did back in the day. He knew what Daniel did too. But you done put the slaves back on the back burner. So they didn't call Daniel. The queen said, man, dude, you better call Daniel. He helped your dad out back in the day. You better call him. Like, okay, go get him. Because he want to know what this writing is. Obviously, it's not going to be good, because this is where the saying come, the handwriting is on the wall. That means, hey, it's a wrap. Whatever it is,